The hum of the airplane engines blended with the whispering winds outside as I settled into the pilot seat adjusting my tie, something I hadn't done in years. It wasn't just any flight, it was supposed to be my last. After 3 decades in the cockpit flying planes for the military and then commercially, this was supposed to be my farewell. But just as I took a breath of what I thought would be a smooth farewell flight, everything flipped upside down. As the plane cruised at 30,000 feet, I could hear the soft chatter from the first-class cabin, a blend of laughter and voices. Diverse voices. Some days looking into that audience felt like flying through a painted sky filled with colors and stories. But today, I noticed someone sitting just a few rows ahead, a man named Victor Langston. He cut a distinguished figure, at least that's what I told myself at first. But you know, a polished exterior often masks a roiling interior. As passengers settled in, I could tell Langston was uncomfortable. The sheer discomfort radiated off him almost as thick as the plane's cabin air. And then it started. His quiet mumbling escalating into louder comments expressed his dissatisfaction with the diverse faces around him. I could feel my heart leap, a pit forming in my stomach, wondering what kind of storm was brewing in the calm skies of our flight. My training kicked in: keep calm, adhere to protocol, don't escalate. But as I turned my back to him, focusing on my pre-flight checks, something inside me snapped. I couldn't let this slide. Not today, not on my last flight. I broke protocol, stepping into the aisle, meeting him face to face. "Sir, I think it would be best if you kept your opinions to yourself," I said, calm but firm. Langston's face flushed, his demeanor bubbling with indignation. "You're telling me to accept this?" He gestured dramatically to the passengers around him, as if I was leading some sort of bizarre social experiment. I could feel the eyes of those seated behind him shifting, sulking into the seats. Nervous energy crackling in the air. At first, I tried to hold my ground, but then he shouted, "Hijack. This is a hijack." The word echoed through the cabin like a gunshot. Panic ripped through the passengers' seats, rattled, and all at once, faces I'd been reading moments ago transformed into a whirlwind of terror. My heart raced, a torrent of adrenaline hammering through me. The Federal Air Marshal, discreetly seated, sprang into action, swiftly tackling Langston to the ground. The plane diverted, heading for the nearest airport, Denver. An avalanche of emotions washed over me as I witnessed chaos unfold. I'd wanted a smooth landing, but instead I was piloting a descent into chaos. When we landed, the tension didn't dissipate right away. By the time the crew and police swarmed the plane, I found myself in handcuffs, my heart racing still, but this time with disbelief. Langston was unconscious on the floor, and I could hear whispers from onlookers. Words that stung. Dangerous, they said, crazy. All because I'd challenged someone's bigotry in the air. While the adrenaline pumped through my veins, I was half in disbelief, half in rage, grappling with the weight of misjudgment by everyone on board. Later, as I recounted the series of events to my supervisors, they did little more than pressure me to sign an NDA and walk away quietly. Retirement after 30 years, it sounded good, but I wanted no part of a scandal, certainly not for standing up for what I believed to be right. As weeks passed, I gathered evidence, testimonies from crew members, video footage from the flight. I didn't have a lawyer, but had something better resolve. And then slowly but surely, support began to build. The public outcry over Langston's behavior was deafening. The videos went viral, capturing what happened that day in high definition, sparking debates far beyond my own experience. Langston's reputation faltered, crumbling beneath the weight of his own bigotry. When the dust settled, I found myself standing at a crossroad, my flight suit wrinkled, but my spirit unyielding. They offered me a new position, Vice President of Inclusion and Culture. It was as if the universe had flipped a switch. Instead of walking away, I was invited to reshape the culture I fought against. I started implementing new programs, advocating for representation and equity among pilots, supporting those like Carla, a flight attendant whose spirit shined just a little brighter in the face of adversity. We reshaped the future, one that didn't just walk alongside change, but created space for it. Looking back, this experience filled me with a sense of pride. I knew I'd challenged not just a single individual, but a larger societal issue. I faced the demons of our shared prejudices head on and emerged not just as a pilot, but as a leader advocating for justice. So here's my question for you. In moments where you witness wrongdoing, Will you stay silent or step forward? Will comfort win or will courage prevail? Share your stories in the comments. We can learn from each other, drawing strength from every experience that brushes against our ideals of right and wrong. Your voice matters. Let's stir this conversation together and reflect on the choices we make when confronting injustice.